10 seconds. That's how long your brain has oxygen left once your heart stops. Before it should, by every model we have, go permanently dark. Most people think death is just blackness or nothing at all. You're wrong. For the people who've actually come back from it, there's a 5-stage sequence of things you see, documented the same way, in the same order, across thousands of cases, on every continent. This is what you actually see, stage by stage. Stage 1. You see yourself from above. 10 seconds of oxygen. That's the window. Instead of the blackout the models predict, something else happens. Pain fades first, then tension, then a calm so total it doesn't feel like your body producing it. And then you see something below you. A body. It takes a second to register. It's yours, except it doesn't feel like you anymore. You're the thing watching it, not the thing lying in it. In 1970, a cardiac surgeon named Dr. Lloyd Rudy pronounced a patient dead after hours of failed surgery. Flatline. The team left the room. 20 minutes later, 20 minutes, not seconds, the heart restarted on its own. No damage. Full recovery. When the patient woke up, he described exactly what he'd seen from above. The surgeon and his assistant in the doorway, discussing what else they could have tried. He described phone messages stuck to the monitor, messages written after he was declared dead. He wasn't supposed to see any of it. He did. This is the stage most people assume gets exaggerated in the retelling. It's also the one with the most physical corroboration attached to it. Specific objects, specific conversations, specific details that were verifiable after the fact and checked out. Stage 2. You see a light with no source. Once separation happens, you're pulled somewhere. Not falling. Moving, at a speed nobody's ever been able to describe in normal terms, through total darkness. Not the dark of a room with the lights off. Deeper. And you're not afraid, which is its own kind of strange, because there's no light source anywhere and no way to know where you're headed. Then you see a point of light ahead of you. It grows as you approach. Not like a lamp switching on, but like something with texture, made of countless moving fragments, closer to being alive than being bright. Here's where the hallucination argument runs into a problem it can't explain. Vicky Umapeg was blind from birth, not low vision, no light perception at all, ever. In 1973, after a car accident, she was clinically dead for 4 minutes. When she came back, she described exactly what she'd seen. The room, the equipment, the conversation, the moment someone cut her hair. She described her wedding ring, worn for years, never once seen. Psychologists who studied her case found no meaningful difference between what she reported seeing and what a sighted person in the same event would report, with one exception. She had no words for color, only brightness. Because brightness is the only visual vocabulary a person who's never seen light actually has. You can't hallucinate a color you've never had access to. Stage 3. You see people who are already dead. You're through the light now, and you're not alone. You start to see figures forming out of it, people you recognize instantly. Someone you lost years ago, a grandmother. They don't look the way they did when they died. No illness, no age, just whole. There's no sound here, but there's communication, direct, instant, without language. You think, and they respond, and somehow that's clearer than speech ever was. This is where the age argument becomes the second problem the skeptics can't explain away. Kids as young as 3, too young to have any concept of an afterlife, have described seeing this exact thing to researchers like Dr. Melvin Morse at Seattle Children's Hospital. No cultural training, no religious framework absorbed yet, no expectation of what dying is supposed to look like. And yet, the same figures, the same wordless recognition, the same sequence adults across dozens of countries independently report seeing. Stage 4. You see your entire life at once. Then it starts, not a montage, not a memory. You see your whole life at once, from every angle, including angles you never had access to the first time. Researchers who've collected these accounts put the reported duration at somewhere between a few subjective seconds and what feels, internally, like hours. Time stops behaving like time. You don't just see yourself snapping at a friend in high school. You feel it land, from inside their chest. You don't just see yourself smiling at a stranger on a bad day. You find out, only now, that the smile was the reason they didn't go through with something they planned that night. There's no judgment attached to any of it. No voice condemning you. Just total clarity, cause and effect laid bare, including consequences you had no way of knowing about while you were alive to cause them. People who've been through it describe this stage, consistently, as the one that changes them most permanently. Not the light, not the figures, what they see of themselves. One detail researchers flag: the review isn't selective. It's not just the big moments, the wedding, the funeral, the fight. People report seeing thousands of small, forgotten interactions with the same weight as the major ones, as if nothing about a life was ever actually minor to begin with. What finally stops the sequence? Then your awareness widens one more time, and you see the boundary. It looks different for different people: a river, a gate, a line in a field, sometimes nothing visible at all, just a certainty that crossing it means not coming back. Would you cross it? Almost nobody who's reported this stage says yes. Reports cluster tightly. The overwhelming majority describe not wanting to cross, and describe the pull to stay as stronger than any peace felt in the earlier stages. And then, without warning, you stop seeing any of it. Not gradually. All at once, like being dropped into cold, wet clothing. Gravity returns. Your vision narrows back down to one point of view, the way a wide lens suddenly stops down to a pinhole. The people who study these cases can't yet explain why some are pulled back and others aren't. The only data available comes from people who returned. What the ones who don't cross back actually see is, by definition, unrecorded. The one gap in the pattern that may never close. The part that doesn't fit. If the dying brain is simply hallucinating, what people see should look like dreams. Chaotic, personal, different for everyone, degrading fast in memory the way dreams do within minutes of waking. It doesn't. A person blind since birth reports seeing the same visual sequence as a sighted adult. A 3-year-old with 0 religious exposure reports seeing the same 5-stage structure as a devout elder on the other side of the planet. And what they saw is remembered with total clarity, sometimes decades later, still as sharp as the day it happened. That's the opposite of how human memory normally degrades. The standard model says the brain produces consciousness, and when the brain shuts off, consciousness, and everything you'd see, shuts off with it. But that model has never actually explained the mechanism. How neurons become experience is still unanswered after more than 100 years of trying to answer it. There's a second possibility that fits the data just as well, maybe better. The brain doesn't produce what you see. It filters it. Narrows a wider awareness down into one body, one location, one point of view, because a single point of view is what's useful for survival, not because it's all there is. Across thousands of documented cases, spanning every culture and generation we have records for, what people see holds to the same pattern. 5 stages, same sequence, every time. Whatever it actually is you see in that moment, it isn't chaos. It's structured, it's consistent, and it might mean the thing that sees was never fully contained in the body to begin with. Subscribe for more.